Retro gaming is just an abused animal at this point. Uh,
It seemed
it's
to
kind of
happen really fast, didn't it?
it started last gen. I was for everybody listening right now. I was actually talking about this. I had this argument on the internet, and it actually just pisses me off to no fucking end where people are desperately trying to label something retro. I've seen this question come up so many fucking times, and every time I do, I just sit there like gritting my teeth and fucking face palming of, is the PS2, Xbox, and GameCube retro now? Are they considered retro? When is the Wii going to be retro? Jesus fucking Christ, people. When the fuck did it matter if it was goddamn retro? When you picked up the fucking console, were you just sitting there waiting? I can't wait until this expires and becomes retro all of a sudden. Shut the fuck up, you fucking dingleberry eating motherfuckers.
You
Every
even have
time,
the idea that like the new games are going to become valuable or something.
dude, there's people
It's
that
the
go out
same.
and they buy
It's
multiple
this.
copies because they're like, it'll be worth money one day. This one's sealed, her to her. You don't buy the game to fucking play it. You're buying it so it can sit on a fucking shelf and eventually fucking increase in its collectability. And it's like, come on, dude. Like, I understand we get the collector's editions and it's got the cool shit in it. You don't want to fuck it up because, you know, it's valuable to you on a sentimental level. But it's like you're buying multiple copies so you can have several sealed copies. You know, and the thing is, people desperately trying to call something retro. And here's a fact: during PlayStation era, so the 32/64-bit era, did you ever fucking once hear somebody say, "Oh my God, Super Nintendo, that's so retro"? In the 16-bit era, did you ever hear people saying, "Oh wow, the NES, how retro"? When the
Nope.
NES was out, did you ever hear people saying, "Wow, Atari, how"? No, you did not fucking ever goddamn once hear anybody say that, and it's fucking annoying.
Well,
I
more to the
swear they're
point.
just pissing on the. Ugh, I'm disgusted. Razor fist talk, please.
More to the point. Does anybody talk about retro films? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's movies that are older, but we don't call them retro films, and there's no kitsch attached to it. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So that's what bothers me is the coolification of this kind of shit. You know,
Well,
everybody
retro seems
thinking
more to apply to fashion, and that's what it
it
is.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the underpinning that pisses us off the most because now it's just fashion. No, it's a game. Just
Yeah.
play the damn thing and shut
Yeah,
the
either you enjoy it or you
up.
don't. I don't understand how that's like the essence of your being. But what's going on here, and you guys are going to pay attention. For those of you retro collectors out there, I know there's a few of you. There's quite a few of you actually out there, and you're going to know this. You're going to see your precious possessions, your precious collection is going to dive bomb in value in the next few years. Why? Because it's going to be over. The fad, I mean, they'll still retain their value amongst hardcore collectors, but it's going to piss away. It's going to die off.
Oh, and
Because
to answer your query earlier, yeah, Chaos. The Nintendo Wii was actually retro out of the box.
No, it wasn't retro. It was just last gen. It was just old news. That's all. Retro means you're nostalgic for it, but you're going to see this is what's exactly going to happen. Now, I'm going to tell you a real quick story before we move on about my father. Years ago was, when you were kids, you were remember when baseball card collecting was a big deal?
Way back when.
Yeah, way back when. And back in the 90s, actually, even. My dad, when it was kind of a resurgence, my dad bought a shit ton of baseball cards. And he was all into it. He was all about it. He's like, yeah, it's going to be an investment. It'll be worth something. And then he was telling me, my son, you can have this. And you know what those cards are worth today? Dick 50.
Yeah, no.
It was a fad. And we are in the middle of another fad. Just like the coin
Yeah.
collecting, just like when people were stocking up on remember all the foil press covers of Marvel Comics
remember
#1?
around the same time, you remember people buying foil variants of Pogs?
Oh,
I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
Those are worth Dick 25.
they're not even with dick, to be quite fair.
Now they put those.
They were
things in the-
negative Dick. When you get them, you owe Dick.
You-
You owe Dick when you get these things.
You have to whore yourself out. It's kind of depressing.
oh,
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. Like, hey, I'm gonna go get that. Well, you're gonna owe Dick.